Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our Family Life series tonight. My name is Susan O'Connor, as usual, and we are continuing with our topic for the month, the whole month. If you've been following what we've been doing so far in the month of October, we have been dealing with the topic Old Age Matters. Old age matters because old age matters. It's important. Old age is very important to plan towards, to enjoy, to manage, and to make a success of. It is not a time where you are retired and there is nothing to do and you are bored and you're hiding in your house. There is so much that is entailed to old age. At this moment, I would like to ask you, just take a moment, send the link to somebody, especially if you know a senior. Today, our topic will be fun things at old age. I think somebody needs to hear this. So please, please, please take a moment on social media, send the link to somebody, Facebook, Fruitful House, on YouTube, Fruitful House, on our website, fruitfulhouse.com. You can find us there and you can send the link to somebody. Tonight, I have two beautiful women with me, and we are going to talk about fun things at retirement. We started this month, the first week, we dealt with elder abuse, and I hope we learned a lot. How to prevent, how to support an elder. If you're an elder yourself, being cognitive of the things that constitute abuse and how to seek help. We also, the second week, we delved into senior health and we spoke about many things that we can do to keep our health up so that when we get to our retirement age, we'll have strength enough to enjoy that season of our lives. And then the third week, we dealt with planning retirement. So all the things that you need to put in place so that when you reach retirement, you will be able to, survive, enjoy, live a full life when you get to retirement. And today is the icing on the cake. And we are dealing with fun things to do at retirement. I am not there. I understand old seniors start at 50. Well, in Fruitful House, we deem from 50 years to be our seniors. But officially, maybe 65 up. Also, when you are dealing with maybe your pension and all those things, I guess around 65. But in Canada, really, we don't have a retirement age anymore. You can work as long as you want to work and then retire. There are some people who even retire at age 30, 40, depending on whether they are financially secured or they want to push their interest into something else. And so we are not talking about very old people who can do anything, but retirement can be for even a very young person. And so, what are the things that you can engage in? What can you do to still keep active after you come on retirement? Tonight, I have two beautiful women, as I said earlier, with me. First, I have Georgina Popola. Did I mention it correctly? Popola. Oh, I am good. So she is a retired nurse. So as you heard the word retired, so she has great experience and she will talk to us more about herself, maybe what she's been doing after retirement and all that. And I know we will have a fun time here with her. Her spouse is also a retired pastor from the Church of Pentecost. So we can have some church angle to retirement as well in the house. As well as she has 4 young men. Oh, she raised 4 young men. And she has 2 grandchildren. that is another thing to talk about, having fun at retirement. I believe we will get into it in a moment. As well, we have via Zoom, Madam Marjorie Taylor. Marjorie Taylor is a resident of Brampton. She's from the City of God. She's Bramptonian since 1981. I live in Brampton, so I boast about my city. And she's a volunteer community leader and an advocate. She serves on several boards and committees, and I believe she will get into it in the moment when I hand over the stage floor to her. Brampton Citizen of the Year for 2015. She's a true Bramptonian. Citizen of the Year, as well as Afro Global TV Heritage Award recipient for 2019. Guys, when we say fun things at retirement, you see, these fine women retired, but they are very active in the community. She believes in giving back to her community. Ladies, welcome to our Tuesday night Family Life series. Fun time, fun things to do at retirement is our topic for today. I will start with Mama Georgina. Would you tell us a little bit more about yourself than I have said, your background, what you've been about doing after you retired? You're welcome. Oh, wow. It's part of your fun time.
Yes. Fun time. Yeah, as you rightly said, I'm retired. I've been a nurse almost all my life. I was as a nurse from Ghana.
Wow.
And then I came here. I've been working as a nurse, and as you said, you know, in nursing, you can work until you drop. Nobody is going to tell you that you have to retire, but then you yourself have to know when to cut it and when to say enough is enough.
Wow.
So I retired, and since I retired, I have a granddaughter.
Wow.
And so I spend, time. They live in Hamilton. So I go to Hamilton here often to just help them and enjoy
being a grandmother.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's a really fun to babysit your grandchildren.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a blessing.
And, yes. And then from there, I'm also active in the church. Like, we can do a lot of fun things in the church. For instance, you can, mentor some of the young children. The Bible says that when old people will dream dreams, and then I believe it's not only old people he's talking about. He's talking about all of us.
All of us.
And when you have that dream, that is the time for you to share that dream. And it's interesting, is when you help somebody, there's some sort of joy you get in your own
satisfaction.
You become satisfied.
Yes.
And one working for God and one helping somebody. Anyway, when you help somebody, you are doing it for God anyway.
Yes.
So that is what I've been trying to do in the women's movement, and helping out young people and just keeping myself busy. And one interesting thing I did, I learned how to knit.
Oh, that's interesting.
I saw a flyer in my mailbox, and I saw that they say continuing education if you want to learn how to knit. So I enrolled.
Wow.
And they said if you're a senior, you get a discount. So I got the discount.
It is a privilege to be a senior.
Exactly. Wow. So I started to knit. So that's also occupied me when I feel, because it can be very, very bothersome. Like, you'll be bored when you are and lonely.
When you've been busy all your life, then suddenly.
Yes. So it's really important that when you retire, you get into a community, a church, or somewhere that you can meet other people and share and have fun. That's
that
what
so
it's about. Yes.
That is so true.
Yeah.
So for how long now have you been retired?
Oh, I just retired this year.
Oh, just you are a fresh
I'm
retiree.
a fresh retiree.
Fresh retiree.
In fact, just 3 months ago, I retired.
Just 3 months ago.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we salute you for wonderful service to the world, to the nation of Canada, to Ghana, where you started training and working as a nurse, saving lives.
Yes.
We really appreciate you and salute you.
Thank you.
And we will celebrate you for all the years of service.
Thank you.
God bless you for wonderful time of service.
Thank you.
And not to keep Sister Marjorie bored on Zoom, I'll bring her right also in. And would you be able to tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background? Since how long have you been retired? Anything else you want us to know about you?
Well, I came to Canada in 1969, so I was really young, at 21. And I've always volunteered. So as a young person at high school, I've always been involved with the church in choirs. I still, except for this COVID period, I'm involved with very much so with my church as a Eucharistically assistant. Which means that we are, commissioned to assist the minister with services and with communion and reading the scriptures and the prayers and that sort of thing. And also involved with the Altar Guild, which looks after the vessels and that sort of thing.
Wonderful.
And if there's a play or two, I sort of relive my youth by doing some acting if I'm called upon to do that.
That's wonderful.
So I've always volunteered. I've never really, as time would permit, when my kids were young, I still volunteered, whether it was in my workplace. Or, so volunteering has always been a part of my life. So I happily retired at 60. I was I was fortunate to be able to retire at 60. And I imagined that I would have worked part-time or something, but never really got around to it. So this is why I said I'm fortunate, because I could still, help in whatever area that, of need. And I am now 72, but all these years I've been retired.
72 young.
Yeah, I've not really looked for a part-time job. But I'm kept very, very busy. I've kept very, very busy, but not in a arduous way. I enjoy helping others. So, I'm involved with United Achievers Club, which is an organization here in Brampton, and we just celebrated 40 years. Now, I haven't been in the club for 40 years, but consistently been in the club for 25 years. And I'm also involved with the Kiwanis and many other, programs and activities on board. So I'm kept very busy even during COVID.
Busy.
So
busy so that you can be kept young and healthy.
Yes, the thing is, I find in terms of, I really didn't focus on how old I was getting, what age I was. And I would say that just thinking about it, it sort of crept up on you. And then because sometimes I'll find myself running. And I'm like, slow down, Marjorie, slow down.
That is a blessing. That is a blessing.
So I'm very happy that the Lord has blessed me to raise my 3 sons. They live in Toronto. But, I don't have any grandchildren. So I adopt as many of all the kids that I come in contact with and associate with. I consider them my children or grandchildren.
That's right. Hallelujah. That is so wonderful. That makes me so hopeful and looking forward to retirement. Because I don't know why sometimes we think that when you retire, it means you do nothing. But retirement brings a new level of opportunity. There are some people who retire and then retrain themselves in other fields, especially things that they wanted to do all their lives, but, putting bread on the table, preoccupy them, raising children and all kinds of activities and responsibilities kept them not pursuing some dreams they have. So upon retirement is the time that some rediscover their life's purpose and launch into what really fulfills them and satisfies them. I believe that upon retirement, there are so many things you can do. You are experienced in life. And that experience, you can find avenues to share that experience with the up and coming generation and leave a legacy for the generation that is coming. And so I am excited to talk about this topic. So let's start from somewhere. Both of you mentioned that you are in the church, you serve in the church. Madam Georgina, you are a pastor's wife. I'm a pastor's wife, so I know the inroads of working in church and leading in church and serving in church. But within the context of church, what are some of the avenues that seniors can be engaged to have fun and to enjoy being in church?
Okay, thank you. As I said before, as you grow old, you get the wisdom, you have the experience.
That's right.
So one avenue that you can, be useful, because as you said, sometimes we think, oh, I'm 70, I'm 75, I'm no more, because I heard people saying who are retired, let the young ones do it. Oh, I've done it 20 years, I've done it 30 years, let the young ones do. But there are so many things we can do. You can take those young ones and you can impart whatever, correction, and so on. If I can bring this one, my husband retired long before I retired.
Right.
And he wants to go and settle in Ghana. So he's the one pushing me, you have to retire so we can go, you have to retire. And we have a ministry in Ghana.
Okay.
We call it CIPAM, Christ Intercessory Prayer Army.
Wow.
And what we do, I'm from Fanti area, is Kwenyako. And what we really do is that we gather all the pastors in the village, bring them together, because we are one board, one body.
That's right.
And we are one. We are all going to meet in heaven.
That's
so
correct.
We bring all of them together, and then we pray. And we pray specifically for the church. We pray for leaders, as the Bible has told us. We have to pray for the leaders, so that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. So that, and also we bring them. Then what we do also is that we create small jobs for them.
Wonderful.
Some are doing farming, maybe a taxi driver here. And it is a joy seeing them that they have something they are doing. To take care of themselves. And then you also get the blessings. So these are some of the things we can do to help. And I'm so glad that you have already had planning towards retirement, because you cannot enjoy retirement if things are not going right. You have to set things in place. Make sure that you have everything. Otherwise, your retirement is going to be sorrowful, and that's not what we want.
No,
we want you to enjoy it.
Enjoy.
So that's a very good thing you did before the fun thing comes.
Exactly.
Because some of the fun things also, you have to spend a little money here and there.
You are so right.
So
you are so right.
That's what I would say. That's some of the things that you can do.
Wonderful. And Sister Marjorie,
Yes.
within the church context, what are some of the things that retirees can do?
Well, one of the things that, as I've mentioned, if you can still sing, you can sing in the choir. You can join the altar guild. You can also help to mentor. Sunday school. You can participate in Sunday school as well. I know I'm not a part of this group, but there's a fellowship group ladies group. Where they meet well, I don't know during the COVID, due to the restrictions, but they met weekly, and they would have, tea, and they would have special guests would come in and lecture on different topics. So
it's nice to be a retiree. You have tea time.
so you're bonding as church members, but you're also having a social time, and also learning, based on the guests that are brought in for the different topics. Could be on retirement and some of the topics that you have covered. As I said, you could participate in Sunday school and on the altar guild, and so there are many avenues in the church for people to participate, but they need to be encouraged, because not everyone is outgoing. Some people are a bit shy, so you have to gain their interest and their trust.
That is so true.
And encourage them to participate. I noticed that we do have services now. One service, I haven't physically gone to our church during the COVID, but we have an online service which I participate in, because I can sing and I love to sing. So I'm in my basement at my computer, and I'm belting out the songs because it brings me joy, even though I'm by myself. So I find that a lot of people are making use of the opportunity to listen to the services and participate via virtually. So that is so it's a new skill that people are learning. I'm still I've done a lot of Zooms, but I haven't actually hosted one, and that is something that I'm planning to.
That is wonderful. Yes. That is wonderful. You mentioned a couple of times about COVID and the restrictions that COVID has imposed on our lives, and I can imagine that for retirees it can be very daunting if you cannot be able to go to activities where you normally engage in. Marjorie rightly said that she has been joining her church services online, which means if other activities are not there for you to engage in, you are totally at home all the time. I'm wondering if we have seniors who are not tech savvy. You are talking about Zoom now.
Yes.
I remember a few years ago, we did a program for seniors here. We called it Communication Club. And we wanted the young people to teach the seniors about using the phone, being on WhatsApp, Facebook, and all these social media that platforms that we are using currently to connect with one another. And when the seniors are left behind with this social media platforms, it's so difficult for them to engage, even with family. My mom is in Ghana, and she's 90 years, and I've been pushing her to get on WhatsApp so that, sometimes for free, she can call me, I can call her, she can see me on video, and there are other platforms, but they are paid platforms, right? But this is so easy, it's on your phone and all that, and it took me a long time to get her to agree, So recently we connected her on WhatsApp, and I ring her on WhatsApp, and she doesn't hear. Then I'll call my brother. I said, tell her I called her. I had a thing ringing, but I didn't know where it's coming from. So she's not picking it, But if somebody is not that tech savvy in this COVID season, what are some of the things that the person can still do? How does the person connect to the rest of the world? Maybe you are always active in church, but now you are no more having in-person services. So all the good things and enjoyment that comes with coming together to fellowship, you can't do that. How does a retiree who is not tech savvy still be able to connect and enjoy life and don't become bored at home. I'll let Sister Marjorie go first on this one.
Well, I know it is really very difficult, but one of the things that I thought about, and I did mention it to a few people, is that suppose if you have a vehicle, cars, whatever, what you could do, make sure you call people to check on them, people you know, and just say how are you doing.
How you doing?
Have people who connect with them by phone. I also one of the suggestions I've been making to people is that call to find out if somebody is at home, and then maybe just drive by and surprise them. You when you're in, say, at your address, just outside,
yeah,
you give them a telephone call. Of course, you're surprising them. You call them, but what you're doing is reassuring yourself that they're actually at home. And then you surprise them by driving, honking your horn, telephone them, hello, and just tell them that you're outside. So even if you cannot, go in your homes, you can wave or you can drop something off, just these little surprises that you can do with people who are not, say, on Zoom or are not able to go into church, even, because of the churches are open, but the numbers are restricted, and you still have to, take a lot of precautions. So, just think about how can you cheer somebody up?
Somebody up?
Yeah, because you can still socially distance. You could suppose if you know somebody like Tim Hortons, but you can't meet in Tim Hortons, take them a coffee, or and just leave it there. Just say hi. I just bring you just a little, cheers.
Just being human and
they would
being
appreciate
thoughtful.
that. Yes. A surprise is doesn't like a surprise like that.
Wow. Wow.
Personally, somebody called me, a younger person that I met. He's in another association, and he called me a couple of days. I would say last Friday, and he says, "Oh, Marjorie, what are you doing? Remember I said I might pop by, and whatever. It was a cool day, but I have a table and two chairs on my porch. So I got two cushions out so that when we sat down, it would be warm. And we had our coffee, but we could have our coffee because we were distanced enough, to flip our mask down.
That's right.
We had a coffee, then we put on our mask, and then we had a little chat, and he went back.
Interesting seasons we are in.
So those are some of the things that we could do. Just some surprises, because people feel lonely, and these would be comforting to those who are, wanting somebody to talk to.
That's right. That's right. I mean, just being thoughtful. I mean, human beings, I realize that we are resilient. We find new ways to live. We are survivors. So no matter the challenges, I believe there are ways around it to still make life happen and enjoy the time we have.
Exactly.
So I believe there are ways around, if we think about it, to make sure that we are still enjoying the season, and don't let it just pass groaning and complaining and being lonely. But that also tells us that there are avenues, even if you are at home and you cannot go to places, maybe you cannot go to public places where you have fun, bingo, all kinds of activities in the community, church activities you cannot engage in person. There are still things you can do. You can link with people via Zoom and all the other blessings that we have in our age now, to link up with other people. So it may not be physical, it may not be the way we are used to, but there is still a way out. And if we think through it, we will find other means to enjoy. Let us go ahead, my dear. Yes, my dear.
I agree with my sister, Ritari, that, you can, the fun and the joy you have is checking on other people that they are okay.
Wow.
And as you said, because of COVID, you call call somebody and ask how the person is doing. You can even form a little group. You can be on WhatsApp, but as you said, we will come to that because it's not everybody who can manage the WhatsApp. And also you can have, like in the church, a prayer. You call somebody, oh, how are you feeling? Maybe the person is down. You pray for the person, and then you bring the person's spirit up. For instance, as you are saying, we have a senior club, Ghana, what is it? Canadian or Canadian Seniors Association.
Wonderful.
Yes. So Auntie Felicia put me on, and I'm a member there now.
Wow.
And she got somebody. This person is teaching us how to crochet via Zoom.
Oh, that's interesting.
Via Zoom. And
okay.
As you said, at least I can manage the computer a little bit because I use it, but some of them cannot even manage it. But then we have the patience. If you go wrong, we go over and over and over. And then we ask you, do you have anybody at home, a grandchild, a daughter who can help you?
That's a blessing.
Yes, we go on Zoom and do knitting twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then after the Zoom, we chat. Everybody tell you how your day is,
and then you make your own tea.
You make your own tea.
You drink
because you cannot have tea, so you make your own tea on the side whilst you are doing it, and it's fun. Wow. I look forward every Tuesday morning, but this week our instructor got some burns.
Okay.
So she said she cannot be there this week, so we didn't go this week.
Right.
So these are some of the things you can do. WhatsApp chat, and all I know is WhatsApp anyway. I don't know much. So as for the WhatsApp, I can do it. So things like that, as she said, driving by, or if you have a neighbor who is senior, the two of you put on your masks. If there's a little part close to you,
you go sit.
Don't go where there are too many people.
Right.
You just go and sit there. You chat.
Have some fresh air.
Yes.
You
have a book. You can be reading your book and sharing ideas. That's what
wonderful.
COVID has brought now. We cannot go out, so we have to devise a means of making ourselves happy. And
you can. Yes. Wow. I was thinking that as you mentioned about reading, you could have clubs. You could decide to, read a particular book and have discussions about it. And actually, you could do conference calls, which might be a little simpler for people to do. You don't really have to go on the Zoom because you can still, 3 or 4 people can still get on the phone and for a conference call.
Wow.
And it's
beautiful.
It's not very,
that
very
is beautiful.
So, so even if it's that sort of low tech, so it can be done. In terms of Zoom, what I'm a part of a Bible study group, and so we weren't able to meet, but we're sort of high tech. So we have been during COVID, we have been having our Bible studies every Monday still, and it has been very sustaining. To the spirit, because you need a spiritual food as well as the other, the other blessings, that are there for us to partake of. And those things will help to keep this connection, will keep you from being down and focused, because especially if you're living by yourself, you have a tendency to want to listen to the news all the time, and that is so depressing for people. They get more depressed, and so one has to have other outlets, and this is where we who think about it need to really make sure that we connect with people.
You make sure we connect.
And our
I mean, there are so many things that we can do. I know my neighbors, I have a retiree neighbor. Is he retired? I think he's about to retire. I was disturbing him the other day, this couple. But every now and then, I go to their door and knock on their door, because you are neighbors, but sometimes you don't see each other, So I go to their door, knock on their door, chat with them, check on them, see how they are doing, we talk about the government a little bit. We complain about what we want to complain about. We share about family and all that. So just being neighborly, just being human, just reaching out to each other. There is so much we can do to keep people lively and enjoying their retirement. So let's talk about another. You know what? I will take a quick break. There is a social media question, and I will take a quick break and come back, and we will start with the social media question before we go to our next area of fun things to do at retirement. So hang in there whilst we are taking the break. Take the opportunity to send the link, call somebody, send the link to somebody to come on and participate in tonight's discussion, fun things at retirement. Also in our window, our chat box, you can also contribute, write some of the things you think we can be doing during retirement, and we will put it here and share it with the rest of us. If you have a question too, don't forget to put it in the chat box on social media, or text your question to 647-885-0886. We will take a short break. Don't go away, and we will start with our first social media question. Stay tuned. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to Fun Things at Retirement. And I believe you've been enjoying the discussion so far. We have a social media question. And the question says that besides store discounts, are there any government programs for the elderly that you may know about? Let's start with... okay, we'll give it to Sister Marjorie. Sister Marjorie, are you still with us?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
So the question says, besides store discounts, are there any government programs for the elderly that you may know about?
Well, I know that there were some information from the various politicians. I don't know if the deadlines have expired, but there were some initiatives, some funding that was available. And these were offered to organizations within the community. So if you have access to places like Congress of Black Women, different organizations within your community. I don't know. I think some of them, the churches might have been able to apply, but most of the time the churches don't. And so via those avenues, then the people could avail themselves of, find out what is available, and they could also speak to their local politicians, their MPPs, the councillors. I know in Brampton, for instance, there's a couple of seniors have been designated to different portfolios, and there's a seniors, two of the councillors, I think, are responsible for that. But there's also, usually there's a seniors association that they could, get involved with. I know that in Brampton, I can't speak for other areas, but if they dial 311 and says, look, I'm a senior, I want to know what is available, who I could connect with, they should be able to give you the telephone numbers or email addresses, so that you can find out, you might want to provide that leadership as well as access, access the programs that are being provided. So if you're in Brampton, I don't know about Mississauga, 311 is the number, and just let them know you're a senior if you're not ashamed to be a senior.
That is wonderful. We'll keep it very simple.
Yeah,
you dial 311 and tell them you are a senior, and they will direct you to all the programs that are in your city.
And you might have a specific need, and you can mention it to them, and then they should be able to direct you, or just ask for your counselor. One of the things I do, I make sure I know who is the counselor in my ward or the MPP, and I look, and I communicate with them. And because I call myself a connector, really. So I get a lot of information from, MPPs, MPs, and so on. And I put it on my Twitter. I have a Twitter account at Tamar65. That's my Twitter account. If you're on Twitter, you can go there. And my Twitter account is not so much about me, but it's like educational things for youth, for seniors, for anything that I think is edifying and that can help people. So,
if I may add something, please. Yeah, I used to work in Kipling Acres. It's a long-term care or nursing home for seniors.
Okay.
And sometimes, I think it's once a week or twice a week, they bring seniors from the community, and then they come there for programs.
I see.
Like they come to play bingo, they come to play cards. We have a musician who comes and play music for them. So, it's free. So if you register within the community it's around Kipling, so that area.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a bus that will come and pick you and take you there. You go for a day program, enjoy yourself, and give you lunch. And then after that, the bus will take you away. That's about what I know with the government things, because as I said, I just retired. So actually, I'm learning from what Marjorie
from
saying.
your seniors.
Yes. So
your senior retiree.
And in Brampton, they do have the Flora City Senior Center, and I'm sure in Mississauga, for instance, it would have something like that as well. People won't be able to, they will have their COVID restrictions, or I am sure they have programs that are now online, and but those numbers, there are still people working the lines there, the admin staff, and you can get the information as to I know that in Brampton, Roots, they used to be called United Tubers Community Services, but they're now renamed Roots Community Services. And I think they have a bingo online,
Right.
stuff like that to engage people. That's the important thing, communicating, whether it's Zoom, WhatsApp, by phone. That's the communication is the biggest key, I think.
That is wonderful. I spoke earlier on about we had a program we called the Communication Club, and the question was asking whether there are government programs. That program was something that the government sponsored the church to do. We applied for the funding so that we can get equipment,
yes,
and engage the seniors. The youth came in and trained the seniors on
exactly.
how to use all these social media platforms, how to create one, how to use it to benefit them, to connect to the community, to their families, etc. We didn't just do it in the church. We took it to other senior locations, locations that seniors gather and have their programs. And we went to them. The church went to them.
Yes.
Yeah, they already have the senior community there.
Exactly.
So we just had to take our equipments there, take the youth to them, and they had fun times. They were asking us to come and do more. Unfortunately, the government was only funding first-time programs. If it's a continuing program, they were not funding. But you create new programs, then that funding was supporting that. So they didn't continue to support us to do that. But that was a wonderful thing, and the seniors really, really, really loved it.
So the important thing is to get the information. And as I said, they want to please you because election might be around the corner. So you have to go to your MPPs, your MPs, your counselors. They want to hear from you. So don't be shy about it. I just think of when I am active and proactive, it's I always say I'm not doing this for myself. It's for other people. I'm helping others, so I'm not shy. So if I find out about something and the answer is no, well, so be it. I just move on and
that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
no doesn't kill. You just move on to where the opportunity is.
Exactly. And if I find out anything, if I know anything, I spread the word around. I use my social media and my connections and my distribution group to, you don't have to pay for every advertising.
No.
You can go and post on people's social media, upload your material,
exactly
what you're doing and what you're having and advertise your events and
exactly. So we already started talking about some of the things that is in the community. Mama Georgina, you spoke about the crochet thing on Zoom and other things that are going on. Is there anything more, other ideas? Even before COVID, what are some of the things that are in the community for seniors to engage in? And during this season as well, what are some of the avenues that seniors can still keep engaged and have fun? I'll start with Mama Georgina.
As we said before, so COVID has really come to spoil things. But even before COVID, it's always fun when you do something with somebody. We always say the more, the merrier.
Yes.
You could be going for a walk, but if you go for a walk with somebody, it's more fun.
It's more fun.
Otherwise, maybe you have to put earphones in your ears and listen to music.
Yeah.
But that one too, if you are not careful, if a car is coming, you don't hear.
For your safety.
Safety.
So
those are, you can go for a walk. You can join. There are so many, as Mama said, there are so many groups, senior groups. But make sure you join a group that is really Christian based, I would say, or a group that doesn't do things that you don't want. You don't want.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are community groups in the community you can join. sometimes they go for like a trip, like a day trip.
Yes.
Sometimes they say we are going to the border, cross the border for some shopping, or we are going to go to Niagara Falls, just walk around. These are some of the things you can do to make yourself happy and, you know,
and
also know yourselves. And as I said, you can learn new things. New things. You know, I know a little bit of crocheting, so it wasn't too difficult for me. But when I was looking at the Zoom and I saw how some people were holding the needle, you could see that they are just starting, but they are there. They are trying. They want to. So these are some of the things you have to do. And then, as you said, it's very important your neighbors. With your neighbors. You have to check on your neighbors, be friendly with your neighbors. You know, it's a form of even evangelism.
Yes.
When you talk to them, when you are kind to them, show kindness. And another thing I wrote down here that I was going to say that, you know, at my age, when we read this age, you have so much stuff.
You do.
You don't even, some of them, 1 year, you have not put on something, 2 years. So these are the times, you know, you look through your things, give some things away. Giving. Because it is fulfilling. Give some of your things away to people who need it, and let your closet be a little smaller, you know. So I think
downsize your closet.
Downsize. You know, pots and pans, like, because, you know, people give us gifts like me. I have plates, pans, pots. So now I started giving them out. I call my daughter-in-law, come and see whatever you need. Just take it. Yeah. Who needs this? Who needs that? That's you know, the feeling of giving. That brings you some joy. Wow. So that's another thing that you can do.
And Mama Marjorie, any contribution to that?
Yeah, well, she mentioned the walking, hiking, but people could, even in this COVID time, you know, I mean, it's fall, but I take a lot of photos. I always have my camera with me, and I, you know, so some photography. You can also, people can also write. Now is a time when you have time on your hands, you're stuck in the house. I haven't done this yet, but one of the things that I think that would be nice, and I regret some of the I don't regret a lot, but one of the things I wish I had done, say when my grandmother was alive, is to do some recording of her voice, or a family, to leave something for your family, you know, to put photos together, you know, for your family to share. You know, do some writing. I remember I have an 80-year-old sister. She doesn't live in Brampton, but, you know, she lives in Toronto, but I hardly see her. And I would say to her, because I don't have a lot of childhood photos. I have some, but not when I was really young. And I said, what was I like? Tell me. You know, because sometimes you don't know. You have all these questions, and then the person passes on, and then, I wish I had asked this. I wish I had done. So these are times when we can, you know, start journaling or something, you know, to leave something for your
leave a legacy, something for children, grandchildren to fall on.
Exactly.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
So that's a nice hobby that one can, you know, not only that, you can use this opportunity to talk to some relatives you hadn't spoken to for a while.
Yeah. Madam Georgina mentioned about having company even when you are going for a walk. Having somebody walking with makes it more fun than walking alone. There's a social media question, question number 2. Let's see what it says. It says, unfortunately, loneliness is a major issue for most around this age.
That is true.
What suggestions can you provide for those looking for meaningful companionship without being taken advantage of? So somebody may have a spouse that has passed away and they retired and they want companionship. They want to enter into relationship. That's being part of having fun at retirement, having companionship. How do one make sure that you look for companionship without being taken advantage of? Marjorie, you want to start with you?
Well, I mean, I've been on my own for a while, but to be honest, I've been so busy, I really haven't really focused that much.
Wow.
Say, although that would be helpful, but because that is something that one thinks about, and I know quite a number of people have gone online to the different, sites where they
sites?
Yes, I have never, to be honest, I've never had the courage to do that to this point.
So there are dating sites for older people,
right? But I do believe, that some of the suggestions that were mentioned, like if you have a hobby that you enjoy, and it doesn't have to be all men and all women. There are hobbies that you can enjoy together, and it's through these interests that you might find that
meet somebody.
For instance, if you go and sing in a choir, you might find somebody you like singing.
That's
you might find somebody that likes singing.
You sing together.
Maybe men and women should play dominoes more together, and they could have a domino buddy. It doesn't have to be all women and all men all the time.
That's right.
They might want to pick up tennis, for instance, if they are, physically able.
Yeah.
They, join a club. And I know the Flower City seniors, they have, when pre-COVID, you have guys playing dominoes, people doing woodworking, yoga, Tai Chi. I'm saying that's a healthy way to get to know other people. If you're not don't want to go on the sites, I know I would mention church, but I have to say that there's not too many men in the churches. But not the ones I go to anyway.
We have to pray them in.
That's my little joke.
Yes, that is a concern on many levels.
Yeah. On many levels,
Yeah.
They're shy of showing their feelings, I guess. And that's part of it.
That's so right.
Spiritual, that's not a man's thing, it is a woman's thing to show the emotion. So
that's true.
We have to try and be our authentic selves.
That's true.
Because a lot of times we hide our true selves, and it goes both ways.
So the best way is to find activities that you're already enjoying, and meeting people in that context may be safer than trying to meet strangers.
And you get to know the person. Something might develop, but it has to start someplace.
Yeah.
And through those social occasions, then you are getting to know each other. Said, unsaid. Body language, all that. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you already experienced. By the time you retire, you're experiencing in those things. Yeah. Mama Georgina, would you add to that?
Yes. Before I add to that, I just want to go back a little bit. When Mama was saying that, you have to write things down, like, folk things like that.
Yeah.
And this is also the time for you to, it's not just your children, maybe some of the community people or some people in the church. Some of the people are in the church, young ones in the church, but their parents are not there. Some of them are foreign students. And these young ones, like my children, I would say, and some of them, they keep asking, when we tell them something about, say, Ghana, they keep asking questions. So this is the time you can, fellowship with them and tell them, folk stories, all the stories that Anansi stories that we used to hear and all that, and tell them a little bit about the culture, because they are kind of lost. They don't know the culture. So you can be telling them about the culture. This is how we do it in Ghana. That's where I'm from. So that's where I will talk about. Wherever you are from, you just tell them, how we do this and the reason why we do this, and then they will be learning. And it's very interesting. They will say, hey, is that how you used to do it before? Oh, and now it's like this and now it's like that. So during our retirement, we can have fun like that with them. And then coming to the question that came, I was looking at the TV the other day, and they said there's a woman whose husband died and was looking for love and went on the internet, and that man has scammed her of $300,000.
Oh Lord!
Lord. There are dating sites for this, but as a child of God, I will not advise anybody to go to a dating site. As Mama said already, you know, when you retire, you join these groups. And as you join these groups, you get to know people. Even in the church, you can have a small group. You know them. You can associate with them. You can learn, you know, see how they are. And
you know somebody who also knows them.
Somebody, so maybe somebody. I know one man that is the children. When their mother died, is the children who look for a woman for the man.
Wow.
And they said, Papa, you have to marry.
Arrange marriage for the parent.
And they are living right now so happy.
Tables have turned.
Yes. You know, and we can just go out there and look for somebody. People are out there, you know, targeting seniors to scam them.
That is
so we have
true.
to be very, very. They would pretend be like, you know, like they are good.
They love you and all that.
In the long run, they come and take your property or your money or come and destroy you. So just be careful who you associate with. In the group, if you see somebody you like and the person likes you, you study yourselves and, you know, so that's all I would say, that don't rush into
far
anything.
more safe.
Yeah. Don't rush into anything.
Yeah. You were talking about documenting things and talking to your children about history, where you come from and all that. And funny enough, I went to Ghana to see my mom. That is when she turned 90. We went to celebrate her. And one of my plans going back, things that I wanted to accomplish, was to sit with her and record her talking about her childhood, things that, believe you me, I sat with this woman, and even my older siblings, way older than me, out of 8 children, I'm the last one. The older ones, things that she was saying that they didn't even know about.
Yes.
And I was recording all, and she was happy. Thank God she's in good health. Her mind is alert and she remembers everything.
Yes.
And she was telling me about her father, his lineage, her mother, their lineage, and all kinds of things. You know, I didn't finish the project because I wanted to come to her relationship with my father. My father is passed, is late, and I wanted to know more things that ordinarily, information that doesn't come around. But sitting with her, the time spent with her, she was sharing those things, and you can see how she was lightened up, you know, giving that information. So try all that and make sure that. Go ahead.
I was just saying that is, as I said, that's one of the regrets I had, because, you know, my mother died at 57. So I didn't have the opportunity to learn as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So what I am saying to our audience tonight, let's do it while we have the opportunity. Let's not waste this time.
That is
Let us use it, because, you know, it will be enjoyed by the children and the grandchildren. And another reason I think it's really important is that a few times I've gone to funerals of people who have died in our church, you know, older people. And like, I didn't know them when they were younger, but I met them in their senior years and up, and they would pass. And then when they are doing the eulogy, it was amazing to see somebody maybe in a wheelchair now and all that, and people will look and say, oh, that's just an old person, you know, whatever. But when you hear about the vibrancy of that person, like, it's like you see that person in a different light. And I think that if we do this, you know, people won't just think of people as they're aging as just some old person, you know, without and want to toss us aside.
Yeah.
They will recall the vibrancy of this person. This person was a teacher. They mentored so many kids. You know, let us know more about that. Let us celebrate them in writing or in video or audio.
That is so true.
Let's celebrate, because we have more. The seniors we are living longer, so there are many of us. So let
and
the
the
kids,
number is growing.
yes, let the youth realize that we were once, kids, and that not only that, in
You
our
can tell
retirement
them some of
years,
the
we
fun
can
things that you
enter.
were doing when you were young,
Yes.
when you
And
had afro
yes, you don't have to feel useless, like
and
when
bell
you're retired.
bottom.
Yeah, when you're retired, say for instance, I mean, I know that some people might not think of this as a fun thing, but if you were skilled in accountancy and all that, you might be able to help somebody with their tax and that sort of thing. You're passing on this skill to somebody else.
So true, so true. Our time is fast spent, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
want us to quickly touch on a couple of things quickly as in the next few minutes before we go. I want us to talk about exercises that
Yeah.
we can do as seniors. Fun, it can be fun because when you sit at one place, your muscles and bone densities and all those things deplete and they become very difficult for you to be mobile. And when we did senior health, one of the major, I think, if not the topmost um, um, problem for seniors was falling down.
Oh,
Falling down.
yes.
Then that
Yes.
falling down is a big factor in creating problems for seniors and their health. So what are some of the things that we can do? What are the avenues? And what are some of exercises and things that we can do to keep active and still and to contribute to our health and enjoy our senior years? And then the second one is we can do both at the same time. Vacation ideas, you know,
What is that?
idea. What are the things that we should be doing to first
You mean in terms of
be
exercise?
active and second exercise and secondly, what are some of the things leisure, restful things we can do as well as retirees? Marjorie, you want to go first?
Okay, I was thinking of there's a program. There are two programs that I've been doing with COVID. Like at
Okay.
first I'd lie my bed and says, "Oh, it's 6:30. I don't want to," and I've been watching this lady doing her sit and fit and stretches, and I would say, "Get up, Marjorie, get up and go and do that. Why are you watching this lady on TV?" But this is something, especially during COVID, and you can't get outside, that you can
Yeah.
do it more. The only problem is that they come on early, like about 6:30. But if you're
Okay.
determined, and one of the things you could do about that is, for instance, if you have a friend, a family member who, to motivate yourself, you could make arrangements where you can both be in your own homes doing, and make a pact that you will do that. But I find that for people who are older, it's very good because you get your toes moving, your arms, all the different muscles in your body, and there's another one that stretches. So, that is very helpful. There's that people can
So
do as well as
things that
yoga
make you
as well.
flexible, keep
Yeah,
your muscles moving, joints moving.
yeah.
Mm,
Because
okay.
a lot of older people have arthritis and that sort of thing.
Mm,
So those
mm,
things are very helpful.
okay. Georgina, you want to contribute to that?
Yes. It's so important, as you said, that we have to exercise. As you rightly said, we should pray that you are old, don't ever fall. Because you fall, you break your hip, you go to the hospital, that's your downfall. You're going to go into a wheelchair. But then these things happen because when you come to time and think, oh, I'm relaxing, you don't do any exercise. Once your joints all become stiff. So, and you can't do too much exercise because you are old. I mean, if it was not COVID, you can go to the gym. They have, senior side that they can tell you what to do. But with COVID, you stay in your house. You can do, as Mama was saying, aerobics. If you have somebody or if you know, you go to YouTube, there are so many easy exercises for you that you can do. Sitting down or lying down, you can do that. And also, those of us who are learning how to knit and crochet, it's very good for your fingers.
I see.
So that your fingers are moving all the time. Because sometimes as a senior, you take something, it drops. So you have to exercise your fingers. So that's what you can do. You can also do a walk, even in your house.
Yes.
Not walking in your living room. Go and come. Go. That's what my husband is doing right now. He will time it and go up and down, just in the hall. And if you are able to climb stairs, maybe you have stairs in your house, maybe from the living room to your bedroom. Please do it very carefully and avoid fall. Very, very important that you avoid fall. So you can be going up and down the stairs as much as you can, or as many as you can. And that will also strengthen your knees and that. That's what I want.
And I can say, if you have grandchildren in the house and all that, they can join in with you, part of the fun, and then exercise with them, not overexerting yourself, but still having fun, enjoying the family whilst you exercise. Wow. How about vacationing and all that? What are some of the ideas?
A vacation is very important. And I was just discussing that those of us from Ghana, when you say you are going on vacation, you are going to Ghana.
That's not
and
a
that
vacation.
is not a
at
vacation.
all.
That is even more work than
Exactly. That is the stress. that brings you. That is not vacation.
Or if wherever you are from, I'm going to my hometown, I'm going to so and so for vacation. That is not vacation. Vacation is somewhere you can go and relax. You get up whenever you want. You sleep whenever you want.
And see new things.
Yeah, and
explore.
Then that's when you rest. And also, vacation is not going to traveling outside. No,
not
vacation,
always.
not always. If you have the money and you have the means and Corona, pray to God that is going to go away by next year.
Amen.
But if you can go on vacation to anywhere, you can still have, if you are in a group, like a community group, they go for sightseeing. They take a bus, they sit in the bus, they drive all over the place, see places, where you always thought, oh, they said, even as I've been here all these years, this is a secret. I'm telling you that I have never been to CN Tower.
So that is no more a secret. Now the whole of the world knows that you've lived in Toronto your whole life and have not been to see.
I've gone around, I've seen the building, I have passed by, but to go inside and all
that is so. It so happens.
I have never done it.
It so happens, and that is something that when you come on retirement, I think you should plan to do. Explore your community.
Exactly.
Yes.
Believe me, we lived in UK before we moved here. I lived in London. And yes, I've crossed the London Bridge and all that, but the London Tower and Buckingham Palace and all these places that people travel inside into UK to come and look at, I never went to see those places. So when you come on retirement, because you are busy making money, earning, making ends meet, looking after children, raising family, career, business, everything else that preoccupies you when you are young. So when you retire, I think even just around you, there are so many things. If you research, so many places that you can visit that you've not been before, just around you. I know people who have lived in Toronto and have never gone to Niagara Falls, and people are traveling to come to Niagara Falls. So that is so true, Mama. Sister Marjorie.
Well, I would echo what is said before. Say in Brampton, for instance, a lot of people have never gone to Palma, which is the Peel, the Museum and Art Gallery. People have been there, and even people who during Black History Month, they put on a display all the time, exhibit. And I go there, I hardly see anybody interested, And one of the things that we do as tourists when we go to London and so on is to go in a double-decker. Well, they have that in Toronto too. You can go in a bus and go around Toronto as well.
Yeah.
And we need to do staycations, as they call it.
Staycations.
Yes.
That's it. I had a friend that came to visit me last year from Scotland, and she came and she had already plotted. She has researched and plotted and knew, was aware of places within town, Toronto. And she came with her son, and she wakes up in the morning. You know, UK, they are used to using the public transport system. So she was like, don't bother, don't worry about me, go about to do your own thing. We will go. And they would take the bus to Toronto. They would take the sightseeing bus. They will go to exhibition centers, and they explored places that I have never, gone to since I've been here for over 20 years or so. I have not gone to look at. And she just came on vacation and went to all those activities, And so there are things to see around you, not just in Canada, US, wherever you are. You are so busy with your life that you don't explore those things. And now that you come on retirement, this is the time to explore and enjoy your city.
And I was thinking, this is something I do sometimes. Say, I will say to a friend, hey, let's go and have coffee. For no reason.
Yeah.
You don't have to be celebrating your birthday or something like that.
Oh, anytime.
Hey, if you want to go and eat out, if you can afford it. And just enjoy. Let somebody serve you instead of you going home and cooking all the time.
Just having a new day is enough celebration.
Treat yourself.
One thing I do. Oh, she finished. My son and his son, a family, they live in St. Catherine's. And St. Catherine, there are no subways or things like that. So one summer, I just invited them. And my husband, we have been driving cars here and there, never taking a subway. I said, today we are going to sightseeing the subways.
Wow.
So we all took the bus. And there are new subways. I didn't even queue, another one, Vaughan, and all these places. So we just went to see the subway. And you have one ticket, you exchange and go.
We the subway.
This one, we went the other one, we won this one, and the boy was so happy standing in the train, holding on, because he's never ridden a train. And then after that, we went and sat in a small coffee, we had some snacks.
Yes.
The subway back home.
It
was so fun. It was
wow.
fun.
And of course, you took pictures and everything like a tourist. I have my camera. I take pictures all the time,
Wonderful. Yes. Wow. Talking about fun. I have had fun having this discussion here. And thank you so much for your time. Yes. Thank you so much about the time with us here. I know that the audience have also learned a lot and enjoyed the discussion. So on a closing note, before we go, Sister Marjorie, I will start with you. What are your closing words that you have for us?
Well, I would say make sure you connect with others. Don't be shy about it. If you're an introvert, you might, be hesitant. But people, especially during this period when so many are lonely, they'd be very, very happy to hear from you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Sister Marjorie Taylor. And Mama Georgina?
I will say...
and remember that I wanted you to share about some of the things, businesses that you have gone into on retirement.
All right. Okay, so what I would say is that as we are young, I encourage you, work hard as much as you can and prepare for your retirement. And when you retire, enjoy yourself, relax, have fun, and connect with people. It's very important. Don't be lonely. Connect with people and make sure that you enjoy yourself. Sleep whenever you want to sleep and wake up whenever you want to wake up. There's no time to say,
that is the beauty of retirement.
Time is up. I have to go to work. I'm getting late, rushing. That's no more there. Yes, it's a new life altogether. I'm starting to enjoy it now.
Wow.
So just pray for good health.
Amen.
Let God give us good health.
That's
so
right.
that we can all enjoy our retirement.
That's right.
That's what it is. And
remember the business, please.
Yes, as I said, my husband, my husband and myself, or is it myself and my husband? what do you call it? We have
the soap.
Yeah, we are doing black soap. They call it black soap. In Ghana, we call it alata semina.
Yeah.
What is that?
That I talked about.
Oh, I see.
Yes, we give people jobs here to do. So we have a little factory that we have started, and we are producing black soap, African soap, natural organic black soap.
Yeah.
And we sell it to people. In fact, there's somebody in Canada, 2 people in Canada who buy and import and then distribute. So if anybody is interested in getting black soap, we are doing it. In fact, we go to Ghana every year.
Okay.
And we come, and even we are planning of maybe settling there, spending more time, because that's where our ministry has called that we can help the people more over there in the village. We are not in the city. We go to the village. Yes. So that's the business that we have. That's black soap business. So over to you. And it's very good for the skin, very good.
Please give them your number if anybody wants to connect with you.
Yes, if you want to connect with me, my phone number is 647-801-1017. That's 647-801-1017. Alternatively, my home number is 416-747-5630. 416-747-5630. Thank you.
Wow. Fun things at retirement. And I am so sad to say, happy that we had successful discussions for 1 month of old age matters. But as it was getting interesting, sadly, we have to move to a new topic. So look forward for November and the new topics that are coming. Some are going to be about family and nutrition. And then we have another topic about dating. So look forward to that. November is going to be a lot of fun as well. Okay. God bless you. Have a fantastic night. I hope you've been blessed with all the discussions. I thank our guests for today, Madam Georgina and Madam Marjorie. Thank you for your wonderful time you spent with us here. God bless you. It's a good time to give to this awesome work that we are doing. So please watch for the avenues to give online. One is through e-transfer, accounts at fruitfulhouse.com. You can go to our website, fruitfulhouse.com, to use PayPal as well, or connect with us and we will give you more options. But these 2 options straight away tonight, you can use it to bless the work we are doing here so that we can do more useful work to the community. God bless you. Shalom.
Thank you.